All right, welcome back, Cyber Traders, on this lovely Wednesday. Good to see you all, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a great morning. I know I'm excited. Today is going to be a very educational, exciting day. We got a lot of events going on. We got Kathy Lynn that's going to be here today at 11. I am going to be doing an open house talking about how to day trade today, some crazy markets. Heard some really bad news this morning. Want to talk a little bit about that regarding about they're predicting a recession going into mid 2024. And you know what? Next week is going to be the play because we talked about it in the last couple of days. The bank stocks are getting crushed. And now they're having earnings announcements next week. I'm hearing more and more about them, talking about them, over social media and also on on the networks, the TV networks. So a lot of issues going on, but we're gonna have some fun talking about those. But I want to kind of talk about what happened yesterday. Listen, we had a great class yesterday. So phase 3, if you missed it, the morning hours were, that I did. I know Josh did a great class too. If you're one of our students, make sure that you watch it over and over again. The first lesson, not so bad, not so great. Yesterday morning, phenomenal. We'll talk about those stocks too. Now, if you're watching on social media, anyone here, just make sure you like us, friend us, follow us. Also, we'll be, like I said, you can click on that little QR code on the top left-hand corner. You could scan with your phone, and you could be joining us for some of these big events that we're having. So it's going to be a very, very exciting week, more or less a day today, actually, with all those events going on. So I'm really excited about that. And also, we are going to be broadcasting live, so do not log out. We will be broadcasting live all the way up until 10:30, so you get to see what we do in the morning. In the meantime, let's talk about what happened yesterday, because yesterday was a pretty exciting day. There was a lot of good stocks out there that I did like. I want to talk about a few of them before we start talking about GROM and all these other stocks out there. So Revvion had a nice little move yesterday, and you could see it had a huge pop. You could see it ran from 21 all the way to 11 o'clock up until $23. That stock did really, really well after taking a little bit of a correction back in August. Went from like 28 down to 20. Listen, it's not a huge runner. We had better ones out there, but that one was pretty good. Vino was probably one of the best trade of the day. That was absolutely fabulous. If you watched on social media, if you were here in the morning, that stock did unbelievable. Started at 9 o'clock. You could see how that thing ran from 2:30 all the way to a ripping $4 a share. And then it kind of died out a little 15 minutes into it. And this is where you had to get out. I mean, everyone should have been out at least by 340 at $3.43. We saw iceberg orders out there. We saw the stock backing off. And if you didn't get out, listen, if you got out here, you did great. But great traders, once again, we never buy at the bottom. We never sell at the top. We always buy in between. It's those right there is where we usually buy. And that's what we have to focus on. But that was awesome too. A couple of the stocks also that did well with the electric stocks. Tesla also did pretty well on that bounce. And then they have the ETF you could trade. If you can't afford the stock, you could always trade the ETF, trade side by side with it. And AMD moved up really nicely in the afternoon too. That ran from 102 to 104. So there were not that many super cheapy stocks yesterday. But from what we had a pretty decent showing on some other ones. Oh, PLTR was another one too. I forgot to mention that one. Not that super expensive, but that one did pretty well. A little bit of a move there. All right, so that's what you missed. Let's turn the page. Let's focus on what's going on today. Once again, market right now is down about 102 points from what we could see. I told you that once we broke this barrier, we're probably going to be testing these lows, which we basically did right around here. Right around these lows, right around here. Was that 20 on the Dow? 3,209 right now. What 33? So we did bounce back a little bit, but we were going to test it regardless. Remember when you always learn about what we teach you, in trading. Everything trades exactly the same. you have barriers, okay? And you got to break those barriers. Those barriers are actually built on iceberg orders that are also program trading, algorithms, dark pools, all that stuff. So once you break those barriers, that's where you have the little, that's you got to focus on. You could see what happened with the Dow, how it got close to hit that support, shot back out, hit that support, went right back up. But yesterday is going to be the with the bank stocks, and I'm telling you, from what I could see, I'm not sold. I mean, I'm not sold. Interest rates are up. Banks are getting, hitting people up with interest rates. Students' loans are going to start paying off. These people, so what's up happening is that instead of, everyone was rich for the past 2 years, right? Everybody was getting paid off the government. And now that, got to pay those student loans back. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll take that trip to, Cancun or something like that, or whatever it may be. And now all of a sudden they got to pay that back, but they don't have the money coming in. So the interest rates, just like I told you the other day, I got it. My son just started, getting a credit card. Obviously he's got a job. They hit him up for a first timer at 28% interest. 28% interest. That's unheard of. Okay. Remember, everyone was living the dream for a while for so many years with free money, with the homes at 2-3%. Now, lines of credits are at 11-12%. You know what I mean? So listen, the rooster came home to roost. Okay. So that's what's going to happen. And that's why day trading for everyone here, you have to remember, is the most important part of this market, because the lead sense robbery. What we do here, okay, you have to understand, is cash is king. All right. You know who's going to get killed? The people that are swing trading. The people are doing the options trading. Everybody out there is trying to catch that bottom. But us as day traders, we always find that we always do the best, because we're always in cash at the end of the day. We're going to capitalize on these catastrophes. Unfortunately, catastrophes are our most success. So make sure you take those classes. Make sure you're there today, and then we'll and let's just get prepared for it. Anyway, that's the future. Let's talk about today. A couple of stocks that are moving this morning. I want to talk about. Obviously, there's a buyout, so we're not going to go anywhere from there. SP just showed up on the watch list, gapped up, buyout, not interested. But then you got GROM. Now, GROM, I was checking over here on level 4, and I was seeing what's going on. Now, we got a couple of we have a little bit of an iceberg order, nothing crazy over here, right around the 248 price range, right around there. You can see I kind of hit it and backed off. Not super sold on it. You could see it, how it's been doing that ever since 5:30 this morning. It's been testing that little channel right there. So if we could get past that, we could see some nice little move on to GROM. And we traded the stock last year. A lot of you remember this back last year. Went from 26, ran to 80. But my God, this thing got hammered, right? Crushed. VSME, IPO, you can see it's not that much data. You're going to be trading blind. Tier size is going to be very small. FEMI's back in there, huh? FEMI's up about 18%, 3.2 million shares. Be careful of the FEMI. I told you, we saw the stock. It ran from that gap up from that 50 cents up to $5, came crashing down to $2. Don't get cocky. Don't hold this too long. You know what? If it's volatile, we'll play it. But take the money and always run. That's what we always teach you. Okay. SMX stock got crushed 120 down to $1.50. My God, this thing is security matters. I think the stock price matters, for crying out loud. That thing got hammered. Maybe we're getting a bounce. Maybe this could be the bottom. I don't see anything on level 4 though. Volume is at 74,000 shares. Put that on the B list. VFS. Stock went to 100, came crashing down to 8. It's up a little bit, 8%, 800,000 shares. I mean, I'll put it on the watch list because we are at number 8 and we're at 8%. That is terrible. I mean, 6, 7. I mean, we should be about 15, 20%. This is the 20,000 stocks that are out there. Not looking too good so far on the NASDAQ gainers. Any good shorts going on? Don't know if it's still on your short list, but CMBM breaking 52-week lows. So I always, the line I always tell everyone. How much lower could it go? Well, the next price could be zero. That's a little thing everyone has got to realize that happens. Vimo, there is that stock that we traded. Boom. What do you know? It's back on the losers list. We always find them. What do you know? Rivian, back on the losers list after that big run up. New York Stock Exchange, anything happening over there? 300,000 shares on this EURN. Nice little pop just now. I think it's a little big spread. Big move right there. Look like it's testing some September highs. I don't know. It would be on my B list. I'm not complete sold on it. MSOX, garbage. No trend there. LW, $100 stock, not interested. All these stocks that are moving in the big in New York, we always expect that. Not really that much going on there. Any losers out there? Nothing there also. So what are we stuck with? Just a few stocks here. LGVN. I saw that, like I said, this stock, on the other hand, it's got good volatility on it. It traded 5 million shares. It gapped up early this morning at 7 o'clock. It's on a downtrend. So whatever news they came out with is obviously not pretty exciting. You can see some orders showing up right around here, around the 320. Guy showed up here right around at a little past 9 for about 4,000, 8,000. It's okay. I tell you, you got to be careful. Market's down. Earnings announcements are starting. That's going to make a big impact in the market. My biggest concern right now is, depending on how these banks react to it, going back to the S&P, just to let you know, we have major resistance right above that 4,100. We get past that, we're about 100 points away, which is a lot on the S&P. Okay, that's a lot. All right, we went from 46 down to 42, and it took about a month. We could do that in a day. Very concerned about what's going to happen with earnings announcements. But just remember, day traders, this is where you shine. This is where cash is king. This is where you got to focus on, getting ready for those opportunities. So make sure your stocks, make sure you're able to short certain stocks that you have you have access to it. Check with your broker. But but we have to learn a little bit more about that. So today's going to be a big lesson day, and I'm looking excited about that. All right, so let's get ready for the open. We're going to, like I said, we got about 15 minutes for the market opens up. If you're watching on social media, don't go anywhere. We're going to come back live in 15 minutes. Do not log out. We're just going to do a quick moment of silence. Most likely may go get a cup of coffee probably, and then we'll be back right after that. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And everyone else, good luck. And like we always say, you see something, you say something. Thanks, everyone. Which stock? It wasn't on the list. That just came out of nowhere. Huh? It's gonna get hold. It's gonna get hold. All right, just keeping an eye on. It's halted. I'm just broadcasting in two rooms, Josh. I don't know if you're in the restream. That's all I'm asking. On the, all right. Ugh. So we got the halt on the stock right here on VSME. So we got that one. Keep an eye on that one right there. Geez. Anything else moving? Everything looks like it's pretty. Gotta wait the first 5 minutes, huh? Chris. Wait, I didn't expect it to be that exciting. I knew that was going to happen this morning. I have to wait till something pops out of the blue. Spread's a little big on this one. MAIA. Rumors look like it's moving pretty well. Nice little pop on that groom. Oh yeah, definitely big pop. Iceberg orders are all over the place on that one. Big order just big iceberg order just showed up at 250. Here we go. I thought this was probably the only one that was probably going to be moving decently, actually, out of them all. That's why I had it on top of the list. Gotta move quick over here. We're getting close to. All right, it just slingshot right on that 250. Looks like he's getting filled. 15,000 down to 16,000. It's testing him.
Yeah, I see that, Fausto. I'm here. Yeah, I have no idea what happened the last few minutes there. I had to just reset up everything here. So I don't know. What are you looking at, Fausto? What are you watching?
I'm looking at the GROM. We're just watching. That was one of the stocks in the morning. That order just got filled. I mean, we still got to wait the first 5 minutes, but that one looked like it just made a nice little pop.
Yeah, everything else tanked pretty much. Looking at a few different sideless stocks. Tesla obviously pushing up once again right now, making a hell of a pop. The TSLL obviously is moving with that. We were following that yesterday.
You get for the market being down 100, it looks like we're up now. We're up 5 or 6. Yeah, Grom trying to make a move right. Man, this thing's volatile. It's
Yeah,
like
now
it's 544.
you got a huge you got a big iceberg now at 255 just showed up. That's not looking good. 254, about a 22,000, 23,000 share iceberg.
Is that the same guy that was out there before? Oh no, he's on the offer now, right?
Yeah, he's on the offer now. Rivian getting destroyed. That has been a great short so far, and you would love to see that happen that way. It dropped off from earnings, they were down. they don't always break down like this so nicely. So this has been a great short Rivian from 21. Up, the iceberg just got pulled on the ask on the offer from Grom.
Yep, sure does. I'm just looking at some of the stocks that we've been watching for a while, and I can't believe some of them. Like I was really had thought that after all this money is getting put into electric cars and all this government funding, ChargePoint, it just showed up on my big losers list.
Tesla is flying. You have a ladder effect on the bid right now for Tesla. This 51,000 share iceberg just moved up on the bid
Yep.
from 259.30 up to like 262 and change.
So you could trade the ETF or the TSLL for some of you out there can't afford a $260 stock. But we did, Josh, we did a couple of options, day trade options on onsite. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. We were going over that even yesterday, going over that 2 days ago, losing track of my days with being sick. But Traders Talk, when I came back, we were discussing that as well, just even after the on-site, just going over how to day trade these like larger cap stocks and trading the options of them. But we always say it every time, you got to follow level 3 and level 4 in order to get the entry that you want. So we're commenting on the ladder effect here, but Tesla, you probably should have jumped in once it broke over 261 at first, likely.
People don't realize you could day trade options too. They never thought about it. I guess the same thing about it's like swing trading. People you could day trade that stock.
Well, one thing actually really quick, since you just mentioned it, today's Thursday, right? So, I'm not trading options right now. I've been out of the loop here a little bit, so probably in a little bit I'll set everything up. But if I do trade options today, I'm going to push the expiration date back to next week or the week after. Even today's Thursday, so if you set the expiration date for tomorrow, Friday, that's dangerous. That's pretty volatile move. Man, this
Room
Grom
is holding here.
exactly. It's just it hasn't tanked.
No, it hasn't.
Michael on a short, some shares on EURN, one of the pops from earlier this morning. All right, here we go. It's trying to squeak above that price, but it's got to break really higher, though. It can't just meddle around here anymore.
Josh, you see what happened to Mara?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Good thing I didn't go. I was so contemplating doing a swing trade on that stock. And I'm like, wow, let's say, can I get back into it where it got crushed? And sure enough, it just tanked.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that at the on-site, then also from a couple days ago too. Like I've been saying from the last month, and I've been wrong on this, I guess to my advantage, that I was expecting Bitcoin to tank. It hasn't really. So Mara's only been dropping on its own accord, and with the stock market, obviously, the last couple of weeks or a few weeks. But makes me wonder what's going to happen to Mara when Bitcoin eventually does crash back down. So I am very hesitant. I'm not touching Mara right now at all as a swing trade, at least. As a day trade, maybe a different story. But
I don't know. I heard people thinking if we do hit a recession, Bitcoin might be a good buy because of the
definitely.
inflation and the money that's missing and everything else.
Yeah, but
Almost like gold.
that's what they've been saying for the last year now. At this point, as we've been in the bear market. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it leads you to ask is Vanguard buying? Is BlackRock buying? Have they been this whole time? I feel like they should, and they have been, right? But where's the pop? Where's the pop
It
to
hasn't
show?
shown it now.
We got a pop on VSME though. Rich, Ryan, and Wendy both commenting on in the chat. Looks like it just reopened up, or it might be getting halted again.
No, not yet.
Oh, it looked like it was about to. You see the time in sales, actually, the red.
Now it is. Now it is.
There we go. Yep.
The only reason I didn't like this stock early in the morning is just that it just like I said, it just came public not too a couple of less than a week ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of our students mentioned it at first, when it came off its IPO, and you had to be very straightforward where we don't trade IPOs that often, and if we do, it's probably because it's a much larger company. Instacart. Unfortunately, they tanked, but we were saying like, oh, maybe they could bounce over time. See this stock pushing up already. It's at least cheap, so it's breaking all-time highs, or it looks like it's going to. This could be a nice trade over time now.
We're just calling big, huge iceberg oil and Revlon.
Oh yeah. There we go. That'd be a good one to show coming up for you for the open house today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 250,000 shares right now on the bid at 20. Yep, Grom is starting to make a pop too. It just popped up towards 275 and then just pulled back though about 10 cents. So it's got to keep holding the higher lows.
I think Grom looks strong. I like Grom. Got a little bit of an iceberg right here at 280 that I see right here.
I got a good setup right now, just one of our sideless stocks. So Grom's the better attraction, but just strong level on this IONQ at 1477. It's like been pinning up against it for actually just shook down right from it, hit it perfectly, and then tanked. Goes to show how strong the price is.
I'm going to buy a small lot of this Grom, and then if it breaks out, I'll average up. But let me just look here in a long-term chart. You know what, Josh? We're in a gap fill.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, we're in a gap fill right here.
Yeah, back from July.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry, that's I don't know why I
No,
just
no,
said
it's September.
back from September. Yeah.
That's a good sign. $3. I see some orders showing up at 280 and at $3. It's consolidating. We saw this yesterday happened in phase 3. In everyone that took the phase 3 class with me yesterday. Remember we were looking at this yesterday of a stock did the same exact thing. Guy's adding to his order at 280. Somebody just canceled some of their orders at 76.
The Rivian trade crashed into 20 and just started to make a small bounce off of it here.
15,000, 10,000. I don't know. It's consolidating. Someone just added more shares to the 280. Another 7,000 came in. When is the... I got to put this other one on my second level too, the VSME. Funny, they're both up at the same price. They're both up 54%. Getting quotes at like 690. It's creeping up. It's creeping up, GROM. It's creeping. I don't know. I see a Fausto flag being built right now, Josh.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's starting to squeeze up a little bit like that. Higher lows. It's trying to make that test of 275.
Take some stocks off my watch list. Firm is tanking. That could be a nice short.
Yeah, that's a really nice drop.
It's on my short list.
Yeah, market's pulling back right now here.
Yeah, VSME's open.
All-time high on that is what? It's like a little under $8.
The IPO price, yeah.
Triple sevens, 777 all time high.
You got to remember, everyone here, and you just got to be, you just got to be careful. That's what what do you give it? A category 4? I mean, spread is huge.
Yeah. At least, it's like 4 to 5, kind of that range, either or, I'd say, especially with the halts.
I'm seeing she's holding. Big interest came in that stock, huh? I'm gonna see if there's anything else moving around. Anyone else see anything out there in the cyber group room? I know we have people watching on social media right now that if anyone here on YouTube or Instagram or we got Facebook, Twitter, we're going to be live soon on for the first time on TikTok. VSME 740. Is that a new high? It sure is.
Yeah, this should be breaking all-time highs in just a second here. It's just a few pennies away.
Damn, that spread is huge. So that GRM didn't want to break that 280. It looked like it wanted to break. It was testing. A couple of sellers just came out and hit the button.
This is a sideless play, Fausto. So, like, I'm not fully. It's not looking like VSME yet, but I'm keeping an eye on AMC actually at the price 835. If it continues to hold higher lows from here, I think there's a chance for it to try and push up again. It tried yesterday. I actually forgot about it yesterday. It tried to pop yesterday in the afternoon, but it like dudded off pretty early into the phase 3 class, so we just moved away from it. But if this starts looking the way that we think it could look, this could be a meme stock type of run.
GROM is down to its support levels around 238. So if you loved it at 270, you got to be drooling right now at 230.
Yeah, but that's a nasty drop, though.
Well, that's why sometimes you get that nasty drop, and that's how you get that slingshot. So I'll take a shot here at this 240. I'll buy a small lot. Let's see what happens. If it breaks, then I'm done. I mean, then it'll go to 220. But
my AMC trade I just called out, it's starting to push up a little bit. So I just set a stop at my entry price right now. Just zero risk play now at this point. So tight defense. Wow, this VSME is just on fire.
Yeah.
New all-time high, just broke over 8.
That's it. Here we go. We're getting another halt, 7 million shares. Number 8th on the most active list. All right, I got out. I took my small loss. I broke my 30-second rule on GROM.
AMC's on fire, Fausto. This was like a gold mine I just hit.
Don't say that. No way. No fire. No fire.
Hey,
it does look strong.
Hey, Rich knows not to turn over to it on the screen. He'll jinx it. But that was I don't know. That was.
You ever watch that? You ever watch that on the NFL commercial? They have all the players, like all the fans from different teams, and everyone has like a little thing. And they had the Jet fan. The old man, father goes, the son goes to dad. We're on fire. He goes, oh, we don't say that.
I'll tell you what, AMC right now is definitely on the move. We'll say.
It's been hovering here for a while. It's what I listen. Since early September, it's been hovering at these lows around $7. It's been here for a long time. Remember, it did a reverse stock split, right?
Yeah, it did. We've been waiting for looking at the daily charts, just been curdling around, like you just said. These prices generally around like 840-ish, 850-ish.
So they did the reverse stock split. So how many shares are outstanding now?
That's a good question. Let me.
Would they do a 10-for-1 reverse, something like that?
Yeah, I don't.
You know what's crazy? I like AMC. I like going to the movies once in a while.
Yeah.
To kind of see like a really big movie and go on those nice chairs and stuff like that. It's fun. And when you really think about it, what does it cost? $13. I mean, like now everyone's like, well, let's wait till it comes home. But sometimes I like to watch like Maverick when it first came out, or Jurassic Park, with the big stereo system, big screen. It's like, what's $13? My old thing is, how do they make money? I mean, that is a huge place. You know what I mean? I mean, the rent, the air conditioning, the utilities, taxes. I mean, how do they make money?
I mean, it's snacks. That's how they make it. Popcorn.
I guess you suckered in. You got to pay the $12 popcorn, right?
Yeah. And they're installing bars in the AMC theaters now.
See, Don agrees with me. Don said himself, he goes, Faust, I have to be seen in the big screen. Yeah, you see, this looks like Don agrees with me. I fall asleep on those nice chairs, Carlos says. Yeah, I fell asleep on a couple of them myself.
I don't think this AMC trade's done with just yet.
Groom is trying to go back up again.
Ooh, okay, yeah, I see it's starting to rev up a little bit better now.
Yeah, a lot of orders came in right around here on 215, 220, 225.
You gonna give it a second stab at it?
I'll buy a small lot.
It's got a good spread. It's got good volume. That's what makes it as tradable as we want it to be. Oh man, Tesla tanked. I mean, obviously the market dropped off thereafter, so just checking in on Tesla and TSLL now, both just did a round trip.
AMC is kind of consolidating here, holding here.
It is, but I'm just about to say right now, I just saw zoomed out. There's a brand new iceberg on AMC at like 888. New dark red line up top there. It's got to pop soon because otherwise that might just pin it down.
There's a lot of orders out there around that between 9 and 880.
And a new one at 862.
Yeah, 14,000 just showed up.
I just got out. If it pops back up a little bit, I'll consider jumping back in, but that's just nickels and dimes type of morning, right?
Yeah, I feel like this market, like I was talking about earlier this morning, that after listening to all these analysts and these big bond traders and everything, and talking about the recession coming in, in mid 24, and like I said, people are probably freaking out about it. But listen, as long as you're us and you're day traders, you're in cash. That's all that matters. Cash is king. Like how many people here wouldn't wish they had that were liquid during COVID or liquid during the financial crisis. I mean, I wish I bought some of the houses back then, you know what I mean? But I wasn't as liquid as I would like to be, I mean, people freaking out that everyone was, sitting at the ATM machine trying to take all that money out. That was pretty crazy times.
It was.
That was, like we look at COVID and we talk about like with the masks and shutting down government, shutting down these states and everything like that. But like, I know that some people here a little bit older remember the financial crisis. That also was, pretty crazy times too. Actually, my son the other day, I caught him watching the movie The Big Short again.
There you go.
Yeah. I got to watch it again. I might watch it tonight if I got some time. Right now, I'm in the process of, I got a new coop for my girls, and it's been setting it up. So they're pretty excited. So if you watch them, if you subscribe to my Faust Home Living, I'll put a couple of videos over there on it.
There we go. Yeah, I got to check that out too.
Yeah, big job. You know what? I couldn't take it anymore. I had the foxes coming every night, the raccoons. They want to eat that chicken. I know we like eating chicken. Some of unless you're vegan, but like they love it even more.
This VSME, I feel like, is a powder keg ready to explode. I feel like just one more little pop over 8, this thing is like all hell gonna break loose.
Wayne says just received 16 chicks by mail. Wayne, where do you live again? I mean, you want to have little baby chicks now in the wintertime. Must be down south more, right, Wayne? Kansas. Okay. It's so funny, Josh. Like where I live in a town that I'm in is that everybody here, like I give them the eggs,
Mhm.
and they all start getting into chicken. They all want to get into chickens now.
I
Funniest thing, everybody wants to get into getting into chickens.
think my cousin
So,
has a chicken coop.
huh?
I think my cousin has a chicken coop.
Listen, depends how crazy you want to get, but like I did it like a cheapy style when I first started because I wasn't too sure if I want to do it or not. But um, but the thing is, when you trade, you know what they call it? Therapy chickens.
Yeah.
That's what they are, therapy chickens. So you trade, a little stressful, you need some time, you go out there and you get a nice clean, you make a nice little breakfast, get a nice fresh egg right there, orange, not this yellow water crap that you buy in the store. It's just awesome. Throw them a couple little seeds, they come up to you. Part of the ecosystem.
I wrote in the chat board just a second ago. I think Rivian wants to drop lower. Just another shake down just now, so it'd be interesting to see if it can make another trip towards like 1950.
Grant says I just eat the eggs. Tell you that was crazy times with there was the flu, the chicken flu and the eggs. I mean, I went to BJ's. It was selling for $15 a carton for like two, double pack.
Jeez.
Talking about, I don't know if that's inflation, but that was one hell of a uh, price for buying eggs. I was like, thank God I had my own eggs.
Looks like the VSME trade held Ada's resistance, just shook down towards 750. If it's not going to make that clean break over 8, then no trade.
This stock just showed up on my watch list. Volume is starting to pick up right now. MNTS.
What's this? Oh, MNTS Mantis.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice little. Oh, just shook down a bit there. What the heck? It was looking good for a moment.
Well, actually, a lot of orders just came in right now, right after 9:52. A lot of buying came in. See all those candlesticks are there?
I don't even have
The
my
bar charts?
I don't even have my own volume bars up here. I'm all for Klimt actually. Yeah, I do see that now. Just on the regular volume bars, you just see
Oh,
like
right there. It's just all just came in right now.
VSME back up to 8. Could this be the pop that we were looking for? 820. There's another iceberg for about like 12,000 shares, but typically a whole number price, $8. It's kind of been under there really of late.
Yeah. That GROM is done. It's at big support levels here at 220, but it reminded me of a stock we traded yesterday. Had like a big pop and then came down and just broke a higher low and then became a lower low.
All right, here we go. Here we go. VSME just broke.
Uh-oh.
Big pop. Let's see if this can keep flying though.
This looks like the big mover right here.
On this trade, the only way that you could have got in from $8 there, we go over this at times in class. It's just more like advanced, like definitely phase 3, but like sometimes phase 2, I slip it in using a stop order to actually jump into a trade. But now at this point, if it's not going to hold over 8, this is an ugly shakedown. Out. No, I'm not going to deal with that shake. That's
It's
a head fake now.
4.
That's a head fake now.
Ooh, just dropped $1. That just became a 5.
Yeah, if it wasn't going to hold over 8, not even do that, then I'm going to still watch it here because I kind of want to see just the crash and burn on the next candle, but you needed to see that just continue to rip and run. It was playing around too much at $8.
I think it's if it wasn't that spike right there, Josh, if you're looking at it, it's like making a sliding scale down.
Well, that's the thing. Like, hey, on that pop, it broke a new high. So, hey, that could have really went upwards again towards 9 and above. But just on like you said, on that shakedown, it's like It's not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to come back down from 850 down to 8 even.
Mhm.
So when you see that, you want to make sure that you're out before it's at 750, which is where it's at now. We say it all the time, but we say it with reason. When a stock breaks through a big level, we should be getting a pretty damn big move after. And
You know, it's been tanking your stock AMD.
yeah, it has been.
I tell you, I am not a fan of swing trading right now. Any of these things,
Well, the way the
any of them.
market's looking, the last few days, definitely not. Well,
They're
eventually, yeah,
dying. They're dying to hear what's going to happen with these earnings. They want to see what these companies are going to report, and obviously, you know, they're not stupid. They hear, they know, the news is already out there. They know there's an issue. People talk. You know, it's one thing being in New York. That is a big benefit in my part, other than the crime and everything else. But I'm outside, so I'm not even there. But when I do go in there and I do talk to people and people over my town and stuff like that, because they do work there, the biggest traders, they listen. They're laying people off. You know, these the financial markets, the people in the middle, not even like the lower or the higher end, the people in the middle that make
yeah,
the 100 to a half a million a year, they're laying them off.
because there's a larger amount of them too. So,
Yeah.
less employees overall to work with that. Like you can cut more people in the middle.
Well,
Yeah,
if
there's
you're paying an employee a $500,000, you know how much money you have to make? You know,
yeah,
they're not making the money like they used to. These the interest rates, people don't realize it, but it's you know, it's kicking in. They're borrowing money. It was free, but it's not free anymore.
I'll tell you what though, that's a volatile move on AMD, man. That thing went from 103 down to 100 or under 100 on Tuesday. Moved back up from 100 to 105
But
and then
Nvidia's
back
not trading with it though. It's pretty funny. I'm looking at Nvidia. I mean, tank too, but not as volatile as AMD. Amazon's taking a hit right now.
Intel's pretty steady, it's just slower. Micron's the new low of the day right now. Maybe Nvidia is just the healthiest of all the chip stocks, right?
DSMB is going to get halted on the downside, Josh. Sorry to cut you off, but
Oh no, that's right. I turned away from that stock after
yeah.
750. I was like, oh man.
Hey, listen, you called it. Like, you saw that it had a sliding scale. Once it peaked out right around a little past
Yeah.
8, even though you had that big slingshot right there, you saw it like it was trying to make a lower low, or lower low, or lower low, and boom, there you go.
We've been around the block a far too often.
Yeah.
So, this was either gonna jump up to $9 and get halted again, or it was gonna come down the other way. So, would have been nice if it was shortable. My AMC dropped off. It took a while, so I'm happy it's like, basically what we saw at the on-site class, Fausto. Like when you have these new iceberg orders just suddenly joining the sell side. Uh, everything looked good, but then all of a sudden you have this small little iceberg popping up. You say, oh, it should break over that, right? Mm-mm.
Mhm.
It drops right back down. And, just right there, it's like, get out. Just take the money and run. You could always jump back in if there's a chance.
So depressed after we're done at 10:30 before Kathy comes in. I'm gonna get some fresh eggs. I'm gonna make myself an egg sandwich.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, finally got a somewhat decent stomach to eat some things, and I haven't gone food shopping since the on-site Fausto after with being sick in between. So pretty much the only thing I have on me is breakfast food.
That's it, huh?
I got some fresh eggs. I got some center cut bacon. No complaints
You
there.
didn't
I'm
take
happy.
any. You forgot to take some sauce with you and some eggs before you left. You didn't ask.
What? What?
Yeah, you gotta ask.
What? What the whole time I was saying?
Uh,
Oh man.
you have to come back to New York now.
Yeah, now I'll have to come back, make another trip back. Gotta obviously for Thanksgiving and Christmas, Hanukkah.
AMD is getting crushed.
Hmm.
They do not want to own that stock.
I mean, with the way the market's dropping right now, just you figure unless we get a bounce at 10:30, but that's 25 minutes away. It's only 10:05 in the morning. AMD is going to slice under that 100 level pretty soon. It's a
I
big
keep going
iceberg,
back to
but
AMD and I just look at the AI stocks and I just see what the hell they're doing because I think a lot has to do with them. That's what's keeping them in business.
yeah, that AI trade's been dumping off for a little bit. I took a scalp swing trade. If you recall, there was that one price I was like focused on, and it was back in the beginning of September, made an ugly slingshot up, which was good, but then hasn't gone anywhere since and just died. So yeah, those AI trades, that was just a complete bubble. Just seeing the run up it had in the beginning of this year and pulling back now. Mara's going to keep dropping. I mean, at this point, if I'm right with a massive drop in Bitcoin soon enough, I could see Mara at like $5 again.
Check out the stock PAC. What the hell happened here?
Ooh, yeah. Pacifico something.
It's down 55 points.
Grupo Aero. I guess some Pacific Airport Group company.
It's not on my short list.
Yeah.
I just checked.
I think it took a huge hit.
Looks like it's going to probably definitely test the 2021 support levels around 100.
You would love this, Fausto. So in the phase 3 class yesterday, unfortunately, I'll tell you what, you sure know when to tag me in because I've been catching a few slow phase 3 classes when I sub in for you. But the big talking point is like we're not trading until really 3:30, right?
Right.
So from the on-site, like that was the big point, and like I think there were a couple of students early like saying like, oh, this pop, yeah, like, and the stock moved up. It was Rivian, like we could have made some money on it, like a little money, but it wasn't anything like groundbreaking. It maybe missed like 7 pennies on the trade. It's not like the end of the world.
Crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, guys, and everything else just died off after. It's like you just gotta wait till 3:30. Wait till just about 3:30, and then we'll see what happens there.
The clock. Gotta get that mouse pad.
That LAC trade's been getting crushed after they came out with news. Rich, there we go. I'll consider myself beating it to the punch on that, Rich. I saw your post. Yeah, LAC dropping off. I could see that VSME trade going full round trip back down to 550.
That would hurt. It's not looking too good. Everything sucks. Everything is just nothing. Is just has no direction other than the good short on an AMC. AMC's trying to hold here now a little bit, but
oh yeah, it's a nice bounce back up on AMC. Look at that. I like that bounce. It's back over that strong 850 level.
well, we got to see what happens. Gets up to that 101 because got to make a new a higher low. I mean, a lower high. Keep flexing it.
I try not to correct as much on that because I just know that is your kryptonite, the lower high, higher low.
I like to say higher high and lower lows.
Sometimes I get a chat from a student like, wait, does Fausto mean this? I'm like, yes. Just, I don't even, I know internally what you're saying. Yeah, Abdul, absolutely. You qualify now for the phase 3 class. You just joined on with us from the on-site, absolutely. So, actually, Rich, if you want to just help Abdul out there with that, just chat him in a second. Just walk him through basically where to find the recordings for the phase 1, 2, and 3 classes that he now has. As a new student, folks, for all of us here collectively, just not just Abdul, but any of our new students, just when you sign on with CTU, just you have just a few calls with Rich and myself. I mean, really one-on-one coaching with myself, and that is really the ultimate hand-holding. But definitely go through the classes first. All of the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 courses there.
Don't forget, today we have Kathy Lynn is coming on 11. Looking forward. Haven't had her in so many years. So funny.
Yeah.
I actually did and I'll talk about it later when I see her, but we actually did I don't know, a reality show, but a documentary. That's right. It was a documentary with the A&E channel on trading, day trading, and they did one back in 2000, and they want to do another one during the financial crisis. But
Really?
and me and her had a very big, big part in that show. It was at the Money Show and stuff like that. But it's just always great. You always know if you're dealing with a reputable guru or mentor, a speaker, if we're still, been around as long as we are, like Josh the other day, and by the way, I want to warn everyone about something very important. This is also on social media. When you see, anything like videos of people showing you stacks of cash and cars and this and that, mark my words, they probably got about 6 months until they get shut down. Okay, by the FTC. They don't like seeing that. They see people all the time. They're just doing that to kind of like, it's
Because
all,
they care about social status more than they care about teaching people how to trade.
I just get a kick out. Look at it. I look at it. They're dealing with this really hot smoking girl, right? They got this great fancy car and they got stacks of cash, which I wonder where they got it from, even if it's real or not. Walk into a plane, this and that. I'm just like, I just hope people are not as dumb as they think by seeing that. You know what I mean?
You know what? For me on that, like I try not to like think as much about the real or not, because like hey, congrats if it is, right? Like I can never figure that out unless if I'm the IRS. But it is to say at least like they clearly don't care as much about like the people that they're signing people on with. They care more about like their photographer getting that big shot like with their sexy car, right? They care more
Right.
about the attention. There's only 24 hours in a day. Like we only have so much little time to think about things, right? I feel like at the end of the day I still have like a million things I got to take care of with family and other stuff. So what about these people? Like they can't possibly care about these traders and clients more than like what they're showing off to be.
Like I just, unfortunately have bad actors in our industry. And when I see that, it just bothers me so much because it gives such a bad name to all of us out there. It really just where it comes down to it, just really, really gives a bad name,
The the
and
the
people look at it like, um, because somewhere down the line, someone got burnt. That's why, like, for some of you here, students, and if you're new here, I mean, you watch on social media, that's why we vet our students who we train. We call you up, we make you fill a questionnaire, we want to make sure we talk to our staff and want to see if you're serious about it. And because, it's a big little commitment there. It's like, it's like going to the doctor. Listen, you can't diagnose yourself. You got to look at you got to meet the professional and do it all along. And you know what? You're interviewing them and they're interviewing you, and they're going to tell you point blank if you deserve, if they should do it or not. But if you get some blood sucking doctor that wants, I don't care. Oh yeah, you got cancer, no problem. And meanwhile, you don't know if you have, but he says you do, so he can make all that money. You know what I mean? Could you imagine what would happen to that doctor in today's
yeah,
times? But unfortunately, we have people like in that industry, which kind of really sucks.
Fausto,
Yep,
we're reeling it in. AMC.
it's bouncing, right?
Oh, big time.
A little
Big
bit.
bounce. I jumped in from the 850 when it was over 850. I took it.
I'm just, while you're looking at that, I'm looking at stocks getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at like, I mean, they're not tradable, but like BTWN, this thing's down. I mean, look at the, if you look at the, this thing hasn't moved its whole life, and
The
all of a sudden
heck?
got destroyed.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and I mean that chart, the monthly, the yearly chart looks horrible. Another one, OMAB. I mean, like this thing just fell off the cliff.
Little update just on Rivian. It's still at the low of the day, but it's kind of at some support here, it seems, from late August.
Do we call VSM VSME got halted again? I don't think we did.
Oh, that made the round trip.
Yep, sure did.
There it is. It's the old.
AMC popped though, Josh.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I said that before. I jumped in over the 850. Uh, that was the big level, right? You were saying that earlier, even like kind of just lingering around those prices for a little while.
I think AMC is probably the one that, I mean, it's got some shakes in it. It's a little still a little bit more probably in the 3 category, but I think this one a lot more
Wanna a
tradable than some of the other ones.
Just asking our students here, Michael, nice grab, who, shorted. He actually got the short on VSME. Anyone jump in the AMC trade just before the last few minutes? I'm just asking. Doesn't mean that, jump in right now, but hey, there could still be plenty more action left on it. Like Fausto just said, it's very tradable.
Yeah, I mean, there was a seller out there for a little less than 30 minutes for about that big iceberg order for about 40, 50,000 shares out there at 890. He pulled his order.
He did. He did the 888 iceberg, I think, and then
Yeah,
Brad, you're in from 852. That's the same price
888.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Good entry.
yeah,
Nice.
250, 850. Yeah, once it broke that resistance, Brad, that was a good trade. It did a little shake right there, and then finally made his little pop.
I was so excited to trade this yesterday to begin the phase 3 class there, Fausto, but it just died off and just knew right away. I'm like, it's not gonna. Let's just focus elsewhere for right now. And
Mm-hmm.
all right, current time is 10:16, so we got a little more time till 10:30. Let's just see what happens here on AMC if it ends up pushing up a little bit higher here now. That
VSME looks like it's going to probably test its 550 support, but for being up almost 100%, it just lost like half its value.
It's the old Christmas tree pattern. Goes up, goes down.
But what kills me is what I just showed you earlier is BTWN. I mean, that thing, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like it hasn't gone anywhere in 2 years. It almost looks like a reverse stock split. And they only trade 168,000 shares. So that still doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm hawking my AMC. I'm contemplating the exit here just to dump out. Still in, but it needs to.
It looks like it's peaking. You still look good.
Yeah, it's still holding for a second here. Now about 6,000 shares joining the buy side, so that could possibly help.
Tell you, good thing we got out of some of these trades. Market's going nowhere. Dow's trying to come back. It's up 34, but the S&P's down 16.
Rivian right now is on the way down to that 1950. It's getting close. AMC's just chopping around here a slight bit. If it pops back up to 870, I'm going to hang in, but I just don't want it to shake under 865-ish. I feel like it could make a faster drop soon if it does that. Oh, nice little move back up on just a sideless stock for right now, just tradable. IONQ trying to move back up again. For anyone that was watching PLTR yesterday, don't be yeah, I hope you weren't surprised with how slow it was this morning, because that is quite often a very slow moving trade.
All right.
IONQ is not bad, at least if it can try and move back up over like 1477-ish again. I think that was the price I said at first.
Just see if there's anything else moving out there.
So, when you're contemplating between selling or hanging on,
Mm-hmm.
well, there's a nice little middle ground. I don't know if you do this as frequent, Fausto. I think at the onset you said you don't like doing it as much, but I'll do it every now and then, and that's to just sell half. Just sell half my stack. If I'm
Yeah.
indecisive, take a little money, keep a little money. That's all.
DSME is tanking. Opened up lower. Yeah, I'm not. I'm the type person. I mean, that's where you and I are a little bit different. Where I just like I'll average up
Yeah.
sometimes, but and like rarely I would average down if I got into one of these bad slingshots. I came crashing down, kind of work. But you got to be ready to be on the money. But like selling half and holding it and whatever. I just
Yeah, it's just all different flavor. Nothing right or wrong. Just as long as we're making money, or as long as we have a smile at the end of the trade.
mm-hmm.
And with that, the second half of my AMC is now moving right back on up. Perhaps that you could say I could have held on to the whole thing, but
I
I
told you
don't.
to hold on. I liked it.
Oh
I
no,
thought it was gonna hit 101.
oh no, I'm not even living like that. It's just I'm totally happy. It's all by design. I'm very happy either way. See, that's the thing with trading. Like, it's not as easy to just say that. In this example, it was, but like, you got to live with consequences. So it's just you don't let the emotion get to you. That's all. So I'm making money either way. You sell half, keep half, and just be happy with it. That's all right. If this goes up to 950 and I sell the second half there, it's like, all right, I'm pretty happy. You can't get too upset about things like that.
Yeah, comes with the territory.
Now, if you sell everything in full and then the stock goes up $1 without you, that is where things are a little frustrating. Sam saying try the uranium stocks, which I haven't checked in with this
I know
morning. So
we were trading them last week.
yeah, and, they're slow, but they're moving up. They're positive, and they're almost like a better swing trade candidate just with how slow they can be. Like on a day-to-day basis, like that, it's a good one. Rich, turn over to the other one. It was Quadruple U. I thought that one was a little bit. Oh no, it's doing nothing today. Oh no, that one. Yeah. Okay, that one's not looking bit terrible. Brad in and out on that AMC with me there. Took his money. Nice 15-cent profit. That's 15 cents that Brad did not have before that trade started. So that's what matters.
AMD looks higher, Josh.
It does. Looking good.
Yeah, it's making a little bit of a higher high now. 3 higher highs, 4 higher highs. Looks like it's probably gonna test this 320, this 101.25 or something like that. I think there's gonna be some good buys soon. I really like to see the market take a little bit of correction. There's some stocks I wish I bought a while ago. I could see some good buys coming.
For me at this point, I at this stage, I kind of want to see one more drop off and then the bounce. I I have a nice support line on the SPY. I'm looking for it to hit, but it's still pretty far away. That's the issue. So it's just in a weird spot for me, and like I'd rather see it just drop there. I'm like, all right, well, I'll definitely buy there. Be a good.
What gets what I see as a pattern for doing this for 30 years, like it's like tick down, tick down, tick down, tick down, tick down. Think of a stock that we trade, right? You start seeing it go down and going down and going down. Shit, I should have sold it yesterday. Shoot, I should have sold last week. Shit, I should have sold it last month. And all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and you have like a complete crash. So that's what we got to worry about the market. Like it's ticking down, ticking down, ticking down. And all of a sudden it's just program trading kicks in. These things just tank. Try to keep your finger on the trigger. Got a halt on the downside in MSGM. Volume's light though. Motorsport Games. Man, I remember that stock. Remember that stock? We traded, went from 6 to 27 and went all the way to 50.
I actually do remember the ticker. That chart. Wow, yeah, from
Remember that?
the
Back in
beginning of this
February?
year.
That was fun.
There are certain tickers where, like, you remember that? Like, I just remember the ticker, yes, and then I look at the chart, like, yep, that definitely
It did
that's
in
what that
August
looks like.
too. It went from like 3 to 8.
Yeah, right back down.
They all do.
AMC is just kind of stalling out again, so as long as it makes higher lows still, then there's a chance, but I'm just gonna move my stop up now at this point. Oh, crap. Oh, Fausto. I just made a mistake. That's funny.
All right, everybody. If you're watching on YouTube and on our social media network channel, we are going to basically close out. You got the registration link right there. Please click on it. We're going to be back here at 11. We got some great speakers. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about how we trade on this type of style. Plus, we're going to have Kathy from BK Forex that's going to be joining us. So feel free to register for it. And if you watching this as a recording, don't worry about it. If you register, we'll send you the recording for it. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and we'll see you back here at 11 o'clock. Thanks, everyone.